become the thing. The thing done become the thing. The thing done become the thing. The thing done become the thing.
Hello everyone and welcome to Doing Art episode 23. My name is Lorens and this episode is with singer-songwriter Micky. Micky and I found each other on social media as a result of playing at common venues and having friends in common. From listening to his music, I figured he would have a lot to share on this podcast, and I was really excited when he agreed to do the podcast. Micky was very forthcoming and he was very fun to chat with. After listening to this episode, you can learn more about Micky by going to doingart.net, the website of the podcast, where I have links to all his works. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I present Micky. In your face. Micky, welcome to Doing Art.
Thank you.
So, as I was saying, we're talking earlier how this came to be. We added each other on Instagram. I don't know who added who first, but I think the connection was through Sofa Sounds, and I played a Sofa Sounds. Sofa Sounds is this show that I don't know. Maybe you should talk about it.
They basically just put on secret shows in various locations, and I think over 200 something cities throughout the world. And you apply online to attend the show. It's kind of an intimate experience where the audience is there. They don't know who the acts are, but 3 different acts. It's great. Everyone's extremely engaged.
Do you think the people who come to Sofa Show, what kind of audience are those? Are they usually like people who really love music, or people who just want to discover music, or people who want to surprise the person they are with?
I think it's all of that. I think it's definitely all of that. It's people who are okay with going and sitting on a floor on the ground for 2 hours and putting faith in so far to put and kind of curate the acts for them, knowing that they're going to be good.
And when I played in Cleveland, what I enjoyed most was having to really sit down for maybe 30 minutes and listen to another musician and really just be in a space where I can just enjoy their music, even though I do that all the time. But in this, there's something different about that environment.
Distraction.
Yeah, there's you're encouraged to not be distracted.
If you take your phone out of Sofa Show, everybody knows.
Yeah. Wow. So how you've played a few of them, mostly in New York City, right?
Somewhere between like 12 and 15, I think, something like that.
Oh wow!
I did one every week in January, and I think it's a great way to just get new fans also.
Yeah, but how you must have a hookup? Maybe you tell me later. It's like, because I've been trying to play one in New York and it hasn't happened.
Yeah, they book them pretty frequently, but it's kind of the thing. Once you play, you become part of the alumni network.
I see.
And then you kind of just keep doing them.
Yeah, I see. That's what you're saying. Oh fuck! I was supposed to turn this off. Yeah. So maybe we should just start from the beginning. Talk about you. So where are you from? Originally?
I'm from Monterey, California.
Oh,
so
okay.
Bay Area, like an hour and a half south of San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Lived in a bed and breakfast in Salinas.
What?
Yeah. So my family, they ran a bed and breakfast.
Oh,
and
okay.
I grew up in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I've got a younger brother. I got an older brother and 2 older sisters. So.
All right. So I want to know more about your family.
Okay.
Because I want to know the right questions to ask how you ended up becoming who you are. So, are your parents like artists in any kind of way?
They love music. My dad's from Algeria, and he grew up in between Algeria and France, and he moved to the States. And he taught himself English by listening to music, and he didn't even know what the words were.
Yeah,
but that's kind of how he learned English. And
wow,
he always just he always had music playing throughout the house. Had
Mm-hmm.
thousands of CDs that I would organize alphabetically.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom loves to sing too. And her mom was I think she was an opera singer. I never met her, but
Okay.
music was always encouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do your parents do?
Event planners.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. So Monterey, there's a jazz festival there, right?
Yeah,
like
there's
a big jazz festival.
Actually, when I was in
Wow.
high school, I would participate in the summer jazz camps and
Okay.
all that.
As a singer?
Singer, yeah.
Okay. Growing up, did you play instruments?
I started playing piano when I was 8 or 9. And at the time, I was just being forced into lessons by my mom, and I thought I hated it, but ultimately it kind of led me to songwriting. And then when I think I was 17 or 18, I started teaching myself how to play guitar.
Oh, nice.
And that really kind of pushed me in the direction that I'm in now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So obviously, I don't know if obviously when you're in like in elementary school or even in junior high school, that's not the time when you make the decision to become a musician.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'm just imagining, even though your parents, they love the arts, they love music, but being an immigrant myself, I was born in Nigeria, and knowing of immigrant parents, I know that they have a dream. They usually have this dream for their children, and that dream usually doesn't involve being a musician. I'm saying immigrants because your dad is an immigrant. Your mom is an American, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, was it hard to convince your parents that this is, or convince your father at least that this is where what you want to do? And when did you start? Maybe the right question would be, when did you find out that music is what you want to do?
You know, throughout my entire life, they've always been kind of very, very supportive in whatever I've chosen to do, as long as I did it with 100% and gave it my all and really worked hard at it.
Yeah.
So they've always told me, you know, if you do something, whatever you love to do, you're going to be best at, and you're going to have the most success at, because you're going to apply yourself the most.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had no idea I was going to get into music really until college. I always loved to sing, but it wasn't, I never thought I was good, you know, growing up. I thought I was going to be a professional basketball player, and I used to go to basketball camps, played sports in school, and I never really focused on music until my mom, she got sick my senior year of high school. Yeah. And she kind of just told me, you know, like, anything could happen. You might as well just do what you love to do. And then, that's kind of when I moved to New York after high school. I started just spending all my time writing, trying to get better at writing, performing at whatever clubs I could get into underage, and that's kind of how it all started. Yeah,
you went to NYU.
Yeah.
You told me. And you studied, what did you study again? Music business?
Music business, yeah.
Okay. But so that means by the time you were applying to NYU, you already knew that you wanted to do something in music.
Well, so my first year at NYU, I got into, it was sports management program. I see. So my thinking, when I was in high school, I basically thought, okay, what have I done right now that could get me into school? Sports. Yeah. Apply for sports management. As soon as I get in, I could transfer internally. Yeah. You know? So my freshman year, I was doing sports management. And then after that, I transferred into Gallatin, which is the School of Individualized Study. So you kind of create your own major. Oh. So I was taking classes in the Clive Davis recorded music program, the music business program at Steinart, and then some different marketing classes in the business school. And just kind of performance studies too. Yeah, so all across the board to kind of hit all my interests at once and kind of help myself understand the landscape of the industry. Okay. That makes sense. That I now I understand the kind of person you are now. I've had friends like that who are just like very diverse, but they're at the same time, you seem like a very diverse person, but at the same time you're very hardworking person,
for lack of a better word, hardworking person who wants to, who is very goal oriented, and is maybe vigilant or very careful about what they do. They want to succeed. So now in NYU, music business wouldn't be like in a conservatory trend. No, isn't a school of business.
Well, they have a music business program,
Yeah.
and then they have a recorded music program.
Okay.
And my program allowed me to take classes in every school.
I see.
So I thought, I don't want to lock myself into one program and
Yeah.
take some classes that I don't necessarily think I need to take.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the one who chooses which classes I take.
Yeah.
And then at that point, have a
Okay.
better understanding of the direction I wanted to go.
Yeah. So when you came out of NYU, what did you think was the next level?
I had no idea.
Okay.
At the time I thought, okay, maybe I should apply for something in the industry, in music business, and then
Like as a what?
just I don't know, A&R
Okay.
or something like that, or get into more management,
Yeah.
while also trying to push my music career. But
Yeah.
when I graduated in May of 2015, but in December I set my New Year's resolution to play 300 shows in the city that year.
I see.
And then ultimately I ended up playing every single day. And after graduation, I was like, you know what, I'm going to play 12 to 15 shows a week. And I was going to open mics all the time. And
Yeah.
I ended up playing 408 shows in the year. And
Whoa.
that
Yeah.
consumed me. You
Yeah.
know? So
So
every day.
see, I was saying you're goal oriented,
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
solidifies it.
Well, it's just you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to set goals, and then you have to try to get past those goals, and then
Yeah.
set another goal. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
don't get better. You know?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always just trying to improve. And
Mm-hmm. So these shows, they include like open mics.
it was open mics,
Yeah.
songwriter showcases, and
Yeah.
shows I play with my band.
Okay. So I have to ask this as a musician in New York. Sometimes it actually costs money playing, So how were you able to, first of all, have the stamina, both the emotional, the mental stamina and the physical stamina to do that, and at the same time, how were you able to afford it? Because sometimes you play a show, you don't get paid. You have to end up paying your musicians.
No, yeah,
or sometimes you have to take an Uber
Yeah.
to get to the place to sign off an open mic on time.
I think a lot of it is being smart, and also choosing where you're spending, having that do something for you. So
Mhm.
I always thought, playing the open mics, that was
Yeah.
also to build my audience.
Yes.
And so I thought if I could play open mics every single day
Yeah.
and get new people to come to shows, then I can make money on shows. So what that ended up doing is really getting to the point where there were a lot of people that ended up coming to the shows where
Yeah.
I wasn't losing money on the shows.
I see.
So that kind of covered the costs and made me a little
But
bit
this
of money.
this is like the shows with your band.
Yeah, these are
How
these ones.
often did you play those?
Couple a month,
Okay.
couple shows a month, and then
Yeah.
I was doing maybe
But how do you get people to come to your shows
It's-
more than one time a month?
The thing is, when I was playing open mics, there's maybe 15 to 20 different venues that I would play just
Yeah.
repeatedly, and I became a regular at those places.
Okay.
And so at each place you have the regulars, and
Yeah.
at multiple places, if the regulars come,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was just grinding.
Yeah,
it was just
it
being
is
out
grinding.
every night, meeting new people, telling
Yeah.
them you have a show,
Yeah.
promoting it, and that's what like the SoFars. I
Mhm.
schedule SoFars before every show so that I can maybe get 5 or 10 people from there
Mhm.
to the next show. So
Oh, awesome.
you have the people who are your friends, who've seen you,
Yeah.
but over time, it's you can't expect them to
You-
come over and
it's-
over again.
yeah.
So you have to find new
Yes.
ways to reach a different audience. And
Mhm.
if you're not playing all the time in front of new audiences,
Yes.
or if you're not working on how to get your song out there and getting a lot of buzz, then it's hard. It's
Wow.
really just networking
Yeah.
and being out there.
Yes. Yes.
Showing up, and
Yeah.
it's not always easy staying out until 3 or 4 a.m. playing, but
Mhm.
it's if that's what you want to do with your life.
Exactly.
Then,
You might as
it's
well do it.
you know,
Yeah.
someone's staying up till 4 a.m. studying for med school. You know?
True.
It's the same,
True.
it's
Definitely.
the same thing.
Yep. It is. Yeah. So let's talk about your music.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen videos of your music, mostly the sofa shows, and I'm impressed. I like it. There's a song I really like. There are two videos I saw.
Does it move on?
Move On, yes, I like Move On. Not I like Candid too, but I like Move On. Yeah. So I that was the main reason. Just watching you perform live and how energetic you are on stage and how involved into the music you are. Like I really gravitate towards that kind of performance. So, but I've only heard two songs. But then I went on Spotify and I saw you have at 100,000 monthly listeners. So for one song, so I'm like, there must be something to it. You know, there's one song there, really well produced song, the Candid track. So my question is, when are you working on an album?
Yeah, so that I changed my stage name about a year ago to Mickey. So I was going by Michael Persall, my name.
Okay.
And
I like that too.
Yeah, when I was playing the open mics, I ran into a lot of issues. Not really issues, but people saying, "Oh, I saw you at this one place, but I couldn't find you online because I didn't know how to spell Persall."
Yeah.
So
okay.
My mom has called me Mickey my whole life. My sisters call me Mickey, and it was just one of those things where in the moment you have the idea and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And I changed my name to Mickey without the E, and then I decided to kind of not wipe everything clean what I had done, but reintroduce myself and really be honest with myself and the kind of music I wanted to make, because at the end of the day I'm the one on stage and I've got to defend it. So I put Candid out in January as the debut single for Mickey.
January this year?
Yeah, as the debut single for Mickey. And the second single comes out actually next week. And that one's called Carry Myself. And it's kind of another energetic, confident type of song. But yeah, I'm planning on putting out an EP in May or June.
Why EP? And what's the difference between an EP and an album?
Full length versus extended play. So like EPs can be 3, 4, 5, 6. It's shorter. It's a smaller body of work, but it allows you to put out more content in a shorter period of time, I think.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So why not just call it an album? Why not just make 7 songs and call it an album?
It's a kind of a taste, It's it's if I want to put out an album, it's going to take longer, and I've got to wait until I don't know how long it's going to take. I definitely want to put out an album, but for right now, while I'm doing everything myself, it's easier to kind of let fewer songs and then see what those songs can do for me, so then I can do more. I see. That makes sense.
Now you play at least twice a week right now.
At
least twice a month.
Twice, so
like your band.
I had a residency at Rockwood every Saturday with my band in February. So we played every Saturday at 10. And then March I was traveling a bit and recording a lot, so didn't play with the band. But April I'm playing at Pianos April 3rd, Rockwood Stage 2 April 14th, So Far Sounds Show April 11th, and then Knitting Factory May 3rd.
So how did you meet your band? And how are you guys still together? That's a real question for musicians.
Exactly.
So how long have you been together? Maybe you've only been together for 1 week. I'm just kidding.
When did I meet the first? I think maybe a little over 2 years ago. And it kind of was a situation where I had one friend introduce me to one of the band members, and then that band member introduced me to this band member, and that's kind of how it went. And for about 3 or 4 months, we had a couple people switch in and out, just based on scheduling, and then we ended up coming together with the foundation, and that's since then that's been the crew, and we're all really close and we're friends now, and we work really well together. Everyone's really comfortable, kind of putting their ideas out there, and it's just one of those things that the more you work with a group, usually you get stronger, and the creative flow becomes better and better.
What's the creative process like?
For songwriting, for the band?
For the band. I mean, do you write the song and
so basically
give it to them, and then
usually it kind of goes two ways. So I'll write the song on piano or guitar, and then I'll go into the studio, record it with a producer. I write a lot of the instrumental parts too, so the different riffs and that kind of stuff. But sometimes too, with other songs, I'll send a demo to the band, and then we'll go into rehearsal, and everybody will come in with their ideas, and then it'll become something, and then we'll go into the studio and track that. So it kind of goes both ways. It always starts with me writing the song on one instrument, and then having some ideas for the other parts. So I do kind of produce and arrange and compose as much as I can, just because I try to be pretty particular about the sound overall. I'm going for it, but it's different with each song.
I was gonna ask a question. You play the piano, you play guitar, but in the few performances I've seen, you just prefer to sing. You just make that decision.
I play piano and guitar, but I'm not a pianist and I'm not a guitarist. So
I understand.
I'm not. I mean, I could play,
but you can. I'm sure you can play the shit out of your songs.
I could play, and you have to be able to. So but
so why don't you do that?
Well, when I was playing the open mics, I played guitar all the time, and the thing is, it got to the point where everyone said, "Oh, he's a singer-songwriter. He's a singer-songwriter," and in order to kind of shed that,
what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, but it puts you. People categorize you in one way, What
would you rather be called?
Frontman.
You want to be called a frontman as opposed to a singer-songwriter?
Well, I like to dance. I like to move. So that's the thing.
Okay, so that makes sense. That answers my question. Because there's this kind of I feel like there's this premium attached to musicians who play their instrument. Some people think, he's a real musician or something, and they forget that. But the real deal is that a lot of frontmen write a song, they can play all the instruments, but in order to connect to the audience, you can't hide behind an instrument. You can't be doing a lot. You can't do a lot when you're trying to really connect with your audience.
That's exactly why I stopped playing. I used to play guitar on everything when I played with the band. And at all those open mics, I played guitar. It was only solo shows. So, and then for the kind of music I started writing within the past year or so, it was way more high energy. And, I love James Brown. I love Otis Redding, and I love Elvis. And there's nothing wrong with
Jagger.
Yeah, exactly. So
because that was the first person I thought about.
I love being able. It's great to take the guitar out for a couple songs, and play it and show everybody. I could play too.
I can actually play.
But for me, the thing that I noticed over time, people started gravitating towards was just the energy on stage when I'm not playing. So it allows me to kind of connect more, move around, and not just be in one place. And that's a rare talent. You either have that energy, that ability to connect with people without talking to them individually, or you don't. And a lot of musicians who are out, who just play their instrument, or fantastic singers, very good songwriters, but they don't have that energy that you have, and they want it because at the end that's what sells. That's what sells the art. I do think though that it could be acquired, because I wasn't like that when I first started playing. It's just repetition. And the more audiences you play for, the more comfortable you get in taking chances and being yourself and letting loose. It's kind of like, it doesn't matter who's right there. It's just, you're going to do the same thing you do if I perform right here, right now, or in a stadium, I think that's the mindset you have, you have to take.
Yeah. And the more you play, the more you sing a particular song, the more you can, as you say, you're able to take risks with that song.
Yeah.
But then the more you're able to take risk in general singing, like I used to be very particular about the tone. I don't want to go off key, but now I don't care,
Just get the emotion.
Yeah, I get the
message
emotion. I can
across,
be pitchy as hell as I want to
just
be.
Mean it.
Yeah,
mean
exactly.
what you're saying and singing, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, I was gonna ask another question. I had a lot of questions memorized, but we're going to very interesting routes that I like the direction we're going. So I'm coming back to money. I talked about how you're able to afford it. How are you able to keep a band together? Because I'm going to tell you, my band, it's a trio. My music, I don't know if you had the time to like check any of my stuff out. Okay, my music is mostly it's jazz based.
Jazzy,
yeah, it's very jazzy. But I'm Nigerian, so I just use my Nigerian influence. But I work with jazz musicians, and I make sure I pay them for each gig. So I don't know. Can you talk about the arrangement between your band without necessarily going into the nitty gritty?
Yeah. So there's flat fee for a gig.
Okay.
Flat fee for rehearsal. I mean, we don't rehearse all the time, and because we've played together for so long, we don't really have to,
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a new song, we'll go over it once in rehearsal, or one or two rehearsals before a show, or if we have a lot of shows lined up, a couple of rehearsals before that group of shows. But like everybody has their side hustle, so you got to do other things to kind of survive, but it's not you don't necessarily want to say that's what you do.
Yes.
But you have to you gotta grind, and you gotta pound the pavement and make up where you need to. And
yes. Are you at the point where they are faithful to you? Like they would take your gig first before, like if let me explain. For instance, if they have a gig with Mickey that pays $100 and it's already scheduled, and if they get another gig that pays $300, are they able to say, "Well, I already have a gig"? That's a
hard question. That's
but
I can't answer that for them. But in general, if something's on the calendar, and usually I assume that they would stick with it.
Yes.
Unless it's something where it's like, I have this opportunity to go to Brazil for this festival. Then it's like, hey, man, do you, I'm not going to say like, oh man, like what? Like, at the end of the day, I want the best for all of them, so
exactly.
If there's a better opportunity on the table, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah.
We can, it's fine.
Okay. So, the last time we talked, or the last time we tried to do this, that we had to reschedule. You had to go to Austin for South by Southwest. Can you say a little thing about that?
Yeah. So one of my good friends who I went to NYU with, he has a music tech company called Treble, Treble FM, and it's an app and it's going to be on desktop too, but it allows you to connect with other artists. So say I'm a singer and I need a drummer, or I'm a guitarist and I need a singer, or I need a producer or anything. You can create a profile and you just swipe through and filters, and it shows you people that they have an algorithm that will show you people that you would most likely want to connect with. So he went down there, put together an unofficial showcase kind of thing. We built out a studio in the basement of this warehouse. We found it through Peerspace, and then had a bunch of different artists come through, kind of jamming, hanging out, recording, just all throughout the week. So it was just a big networking event, meeting a lot of people, meeting other artists, performing here and there, recording in the studio. Just, kind of
awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So let's get a little bit philosophical. So I try to ask a question that or to raise up a discussion that could connect us outside of music. And I've been brainstorming while we're talking for the right question to ask you. The songs, your songs that I've heard so far have to do with a relationship, emotion, and love. But having talked with you for this maybe the past 30 minutes, I realized that your interest is kind of wide ranging. So my question is, do you think artists, in particular musicians, can still affect change the way they used to?
This is a great question. I'm actually writing a song right now kind of about that. So
Okay.
I 100% think so.
Okay.
I think in the past, artists had a really unique platform because there's no internet, So when you put out a record, maybe that's the only way that people can understand or hear about what's going on because they can't see online. So it's different now. So when people write songs about kind of social injustices and everything now, it seems forced and it seems like you're just repeating what people already know. So I think another angle that I'm actually taking on a song right now is talking about the people who offer these opinions without actually knowing anything. And you have to be on the ground and you have to really experience the struggle that people go through in order to really have an opinion, you know? And that's the thing.
Do you have like an example of that?
Not necessarily. Well, it's people on social media, People write novels about what they think.
Yeah.
Maybe they've never actually lived it, or they've never actually been through it, or they don't even know anyone who's been through it. So how can you have such a strong opinion on something?
Yes.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think it's great to kind of initiate dialogue and talk and see where people are coming from. And I think that's the way to create change is you have to talk, but you can't say this is the way something is or this is the way something is. It's just, you can't do that now.
I see. Now, dialogue, that's the one word that we hear constantly. And it seems like dialogue does a lot. It brings a lot of...
how does it create change? How does it facilitate change?
Yeah, but... At the same time, I can be skeptical, And one thing I'm skeptical about is just dialogue for the sake of dialogue. Like, if I disagree with somebody and I kind of know, like, deep within me, I know the person is wrong. And then there are a bunch of evidence that shows that this is wrong. This is immoral. What you're talking about just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Do I still need to dialogue with the person?
No, I think it's empiricism, So everybody learns by experience, Okay. So even though it may be wrong, you can't say that for that person it's wrong, because if that person experienced something that made them think it's right, then to them it's right. And the only way to get them to change is to show you how you experience something in the same way, but feel differently about it. So that's why you have to talk.
For instance, you know what's going on in the country now with Trump and all of that, and deportation. If a mother has two kids who are American citizens, and she has never committed any crime. The only quote-unquote crime she committed was coming here illegally. And she's lived here for 20 years. She doesn't have her papers. But her children are American citizens. Her children can take care of themselves. And Trump ordered that she got deported. What kind of argument should I have with the person that supports that, Like, I'm just going to be like, you're wrong. Like, I have nothing to say. So I'm just saying that dialogue is very, very needed. It's very, very useful. But at the same time, maybe another song we can write is how sometimes we just need to say, hey, whatever side we are on, we don't agree, and maybe we can move on from there.
Right. No, I completely agree. That's the thing is in order to kind of like hear the voice of the people, though, you need something like, not saying you don't need stuff like that to happen, but you need something to unite people. So
True,
if people come
true.
together and all say this is wrong,
Yeah.
that's better, you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
because you need a situation like that to come up, because then the people unite and they recognize as a society that, okay, this isn't okay. And then I think that's how change happens.
You have a point. You have a solid point. And dialogue helps in that case too.
In some cases though, you can't get past an idiot, you know.
Yeah, true. Okay, so there's this segment of the podcast that I like to call turn up or mute. So I'm just gonna read out something and ask you if you like it, you turn it up. If you don't like it, you mute.
Okay.
You say mute. Oh shoot.
If I like it, turn up.
Okay. I thought I lost my list. Give me a minute.
No problem.
Okay. So I'm gonna get you in trouble.
Oh god. Turn up or mute?
Turn up. Hold on. Okay. Let's start with traveling.
Turn up.
Turn up. What do you like about traveling? See, because I don't like traveling.
Well, I hate the actual part, like planes, you know, but I love seeing other cultures and finding kind of consistency between people and seeing how, you know, you find everybody's different, but you know, everybody's also the same. You know,
see.
That's why I like traveling.
Yeah. John Mayer.
Turn up.
Turn up. Okay. I've listened to a few of his songs. There's one song I really like. I don't know why, and I don't even know if people know.
Which
it's
one?
called "My Stupid Mouth."
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've heard that
Look
one.
for it.
Okay.
I
I think he's just amazing at what he does. You
Okay.
know? He's an incredible
Yeah.
guitarist and just does his thing. You know,
Mhm.
anybody who just does their thing and
Yeah.
owns it,
Yeah.
I'll turn up.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Okay. This person does his thing and he owns it. I don't know if he owns it. Donald Trump.
I'm mute.
Okay. All right. How about Obamacare? Because you were you following the news yesterday?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it didn't go through, right?
Yeah, the repeal didn't go through.
You know, like if I have to choose one, turn up maybe.
Yeah. But you don't have to choose one. Maybe we
Okay.
can just talk about it though, because it's not the best. It's
What do you
not.
think the problems are with it?
I actually think I'm not an Obamacare.
Yeah.
I have another kind of health insurance, but health insurance is very expensive in America.
Mhm.
You know, and if somebody didn't have health insurance before, and the person has been getting by without having any health insurance,
Mhm.
right? And then there's a mandate that the person has to get health insurance, which is good for good intentions. And then the person gets it, and the person now has to pay $400 a month for it. And the person is somebody who hardly gets sick, or somebody who gets sick and just goes to CVS and buys something and gets well. It's hard to convince that person that the Affordable Care Act is a good thing, I think. But at the same time, we have insurance for everything. We're forced to buy insurance for our cars. Some places you're even forced to buy insurance for your home and everything like that. So why wouldn't we be mandated to get insurance for our own health? Because falling sick is the one thing that we all know is going to happen. And so the argument for the need for health insurance is futile. It shouldn't be had. Like it should, like everybody knows there should be health insurance. So
it's just a better alternative.
Yeah, just better. Yeah, it's just a better alternative. So it takes the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I said all I was saying to say that we need something like that. and we need to get it better, repealing it to me is evil.
Yeah.
Because it's like you build a house and you don't
Just
like the
concept,
kitchen.
you know?
Yeah.
Just work with the concept.
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah. And try to fix it instead of
Yeah.
repeal it. So
Well, it's-
and the people who want to repeal it, they have their reason. They have their a few reasons that don't even have to do with healthcare for doing it. And they are using poor people to achieve their reason. And part of their reason is that they want to give a tax cut to the rich people. Another reason is that they don't like the person who succeeded in creating that healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, so, and they want to wipe out his legacy.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so that's what I think about the affordable
It was
healthcare.
good it didn't succeed yesterday.
Yeah, so turn up.
Yeah.
House of Cards. Do you watch it?
I haven't watched.
You haven't seen it. Okay. The Eagles, the band.
Honestly, I haven't listened to.
You haven't listened to them. Oh, okay.
Not enough to.
Not enough.
Not enough to make that call.
Okay. Broccoli.
Turn up.
Turn up.
Turn up. I would mute a lot of greens, but
broccoli.
Broccoli, I'll turn up.
Interesting. What are the greens? What greens would you mute? Like
You know,
spinach?
I think I had spinach when I was, I think, 8 or 9, and I threw up or something or choked,
Really?
and
Oh, so since
and
then.
since then, just spinach I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
I like some salad, if you
Yeah.
put if you put meat, the right dressing in it. Then,
Yeah.
peas I can do,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, broccoli. Broccoli is definitely up there for me.
Okay, so broccoli it is.
Yeah.
Turn up. All right. So, do you have an embarrassing story?
Yeah. Well, just before I get to the story,
Yeah.
this isn't really embarrassing because I don't really mind. But since I grew my hair out,
Okay.
I've had a couple different situations where I've been greeted with my girlfriend as, "Oh, hey, ladies," in coming into restaurants.
Interesting.
Because they just see like the
Yeah.
side of my head when my
Okay,
hair's down.
okay.
But it's actually really funny to see how embarrassed the
Yeah.
host is when they say that and recognize that I'm a man.
Yeah.
So.
So that's a good story.
But
Yeah.
I think the one I was thinking of is it was one of the first shows I played in New York,
Mhm.
and what year was it? I think it was 2012, and I was playing just acoustic shows at the time, and at that point the songs I was writing were really just all slow ballads across the board, and I booked a show at Tammany Hall.
Where is that?
It's Lower East Side. I was underage at the time, so I think I was
Okay.
like 18 or 19.
Okay.
And but I was still able to play the show.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I had a couple friends who showed up, but then it was packed with just Hell's Angels, kind of like motorcycle
Yeah.
gang looking guys. And I didn't know if the band after me were Hell's Angels or
Yeah.
the actual crowd were just that's where they hung out. But the entire set was painful. It was just me playing these
Yeah.
acoustic songs to just loud, like Hell's Angels guys, and
Obnoxious.
just I was.
Okay.
I was,
Yeah. It's like every musician has had that.
It's like playing to a wall.
Yes,
And,
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've played to a sound engineer before. And I've played to. It's
just one person.
Yeah, exactly. But I think those are the moments that build character.
Yes.
And
But
like,
let me ask you. Let
Yeah.
me say something. Were you able to talk to one of them after the show?
I was so nervous then, man.
Okay.
I was, a couple people were like, "Oh, great job,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, thank you," but like, I wasn't at the point where I was confident enough to go up and really
Yeah.
talk to people
Yeah.
and socialize because I was still finding what my sound was. I was just writing songs and didn't know if they were good, and they probably weren't. It's kind of like one of those things where like the more you write, the better they get.
Yes.
And when you start to write one way and it doesn't work, then you start writing this way, and you find the kind of the sweet spot. Then you're like, okay, this is my thing. I'm in my groove now.
Yeah. Because why I was asking is, I've had shows where I had people there, and I felt like nobody was paying attention.
Oh yeah, that's
And then at the end, a bunch of them came out and started talking to me about the show. started mentioning things that they liked about the show, and
sometimes it's hard because people maybe they just listen,
and
they're really attentive and they love it, So it's really hard to gauge an audience sometimes, but I don't know. That's why the more you play, the easier.
Yes. The more you learn the science of audience. Yeah. Mickey, this has been great. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Awesome time.
I'm glad we're able to do it later.
Come on, cutie, the way that you do me, you got me thinking love, but then maybe we could show me. We could soon be something else, but I think come a little closer now, I'm buying what you said. You're on the prowl, you're digging what I'm saying. Like it when I grab, you like the love I'm making. When I'm running out, but girl, I can't help myself when I'm looking at you naked. I'm trying not to lose it. Oh, you try not to shout. Come on, come on. Oh! She don't need no one else. I didn't like the way I carry myself. She wanted, I got it. I didn't like the way I carry myself. She liked my style, classy with the tweet. She liked that I don't need approval, I'm gonna do me. So, baby wanna join the team, said she like it what she see. I seen that look before, I knew she never wanna leave. But we really shouldn't get back in the saddle. But if you want, girl, I can take you to bed. Oh, give me your love and give me your time. Oh, honey, there's enough. She don't need no one else. You got what I like.